Hi everyone and welcome to Game of Attention. My name is Kate Nunan and today we'll be talking about the huge growth in Martech. In 2014, there were around 950 marketing technology tools available, and today, only 10 years later, there are 13,080. In this rapidly growing field, Khushbu will be sharing her experience with us today. Hi Khushbu, thank you so much for joining me. Could you let us know a little bit about yourself and your experience?
Hi, Kate. Thanks so much for the introduction. And I'm so excited to be the part of the podcast. I'm marketing executive. I have 10 years of industry experience in marketing technology. I have joined various companies, industries. I had my good amount of industry experience utilized, and I kind of learned and gauged new skills at Google, at even at Sephora and like even at Velasquez. And I feel so glad to be a part of the marketing tech team that I've been able to learn and leverage new platforms every day in and out. It's been a pleasure to be able to understand how diverse these marketing technologies are, like how the landscape is changing every other day. And I feel so amazed at the fact that now that there's like seamless integrations happening in between the CDPs or like the database, or there's like other different marketing platforms or automation platforms, and there's big data analytics platforms such as Google Analytics, the Google giant, which is I feel like it's so immersive that you can kind of get caught yourself understanding the diverse landscape of different analytics platforms. And I feel that this is something that I constantly resonate myself because I feel like I'm in the need of changing uh, my understanding of how these platforms work, but I also need to be able to like keep up with the industry trends. There used to be a time where we were relying on like just print ads, and like the digital marketing evolution is so high. Like now we don't even look at the magazines or like some of the brochures that come in our house, right? I just constantly look at like the ads. Even like the offline shopping has decreased quite a bit. You're constantly shopping on Amazon or like Sephora or like any other like Walmart. They have like everything is growing so fast that I feel to be able to keep up with that industry trend is super super critical for me.
Yeah.
So I feel like I wanted to just give a highlight about my background, which is I have worked on a entire book of business for small medium businesses. We were helping convert some of the print ads into digital ads and create correct to call actions on those ads, and then understanding how we can leverage these mobile ads on the platforms so that could become a dynamic mobile ad. And then in a way it was a good learning experience for me that I was able to leverage some of the diverse platforms and some of the diverse creative uh, energy. Like the creatives that we created in house was so good. Like they had such good imaging and click to call action buttons. So like I feel like from there on, from 2013 I guess to 2018, my entire journey as a marketing specialist. And then I started working on different projects at Google, where I was a part of the product team in Google Ads. And I feel like that was a kind of a cornerstone of what my successes are entwined in. I feel that I was able to navigate some of the complex projects from the ideation to the maturity just by the able, like even with minimal oversight of what things need to be done or like what are the outcomes, I was able to manage and leverage some of my expertise. And also there were like so many learning sessions with the product teams. I learned a lot, and I kind of, my graph was accelerating top, towards the top of the graph. Like it was a good amount of like from the analytics standpoint or from the insight standpoint or even like understanding how to benchmark your results is so, and it was so amazing. um but yeah, I can pause here for specific questions, but in terms of like your question to how the martech industry or like how it has grown, like what are the tools, I would say that the big data analytics or the marketing automation or CDPs, these are like the cornerstones of the martech industry today. From what I see, that there's a huge spike in the usage of the CDP platforms, since a lot of marketers are kind of relying on the CDP platform so that they could help business collect, unify, and actively utilize the customer data from various sources to the single view of the customer and deliver personalized like marketing campaigns. Then there is also the huge spike in the industry in the analytics platforms, which is Google Analytics, right? So there's like Google Analytics have kind of advanced from Universal to GA4 today, which is highly like providing you not only just web, but it also like immersive experience of web and app activities. So like measuring your marketing ROI or like gaining insights. And there's so much that is being able to understand, like there's marketing intelligence, which is being actively utilized in the analytics platforms, like the website traffic, or there's like the targeted audiences, which can be utilized and can be leveraged against different marketing campaigns so that they could be personalized experiences created for those target audiences. Um, and again, there's a huge amount of spike in the CDP, and then there's augmented reality and like virtual reality platforms. Then there's like blockchain, which is AdX platform, and then like there's so many like complex other artificial intelligence and machine learning platforms. Um, there's a lot of companies, and I think for me, I'm just here and I still need to get here. Like I still need to learn so much to be able to understand the diverse nature of these marketing platforms. Like I'm just under like I just know part of it. I feel like it has grown so wide. So that's what also intertwines with the fact that martech industry is going to grow and it's going to increase from like $148 billion to like $215 billion in 2027. So that's kind of the statistics, which is like those are predictable statistics, but still they sound so true because I can see that there is so much increase in like marketing technology now has become like the core avenue, like the core team at every single marketing teams at every single company. Like companies are wanting to invest in martech because you have the marketing platforms, you have the technology, and you have everything else, but you want someone to be able to connect to each other, you want someone to be able to validate these platforms. And I think want someone who comes from that side, who knows marketing and who can talk to technology. That's what you need for you to be successful in the martech sector.
Yeah.
So
And do you think it's that kind of, was it, which is like the chicken or the egg kind of thing? Do you think it was a shift in the companies and in your experience that they said, okay, we have this information over here, and we have our technology over here, and we need to combine those? Or do you think that people like you and your role and your experience that you've needed to educate, and now finally people have caught up, and is that what's driving this growth and potential, to 250 billion growth by 2027? Is it the work that you've done, or do you think the market matured?
yeah, that's a great question. I feel that it's both. And I think a lot of it existed already, but it just wasn't coming in, like it wasn't appeared like it, like there's egg, but then there's a chicken that never like came out of that eggshell. Like the egg just never broke like that. So what I feel like the MarTech like technology was there, it's the information is sitting right there, but it's also the fact that you need to be able to educate people how to utilize them. And the fact of my life that I had to do a lot of educational like coaching sessions. First I had to learn myself, like I had to dive deep into these technologies and understand how these platforms work, their workflows, their processes, and how to streamline them, and then be able to like present documents and like be able to present roadmaps and things like that to my business partners is also a super critical role for me. Um, I think it also boils down to how you can leverage these platform features for your better business use case. So that's what also makes a better use of your Martech knowledge. Like I never imagined myself to be a marketing technology manager when I was in working as an ad op specialist. I was just managing campaigns and like learning how to like create these marketing campaigns. But today, when I feel that I'm in this Martech sector, it really, really helps me to see that the company can advance so much if you're advanced in your Martech sector. Since there's so many benefits to it, you can have your seamless integrations across your platforms. You can see how you can bring different universes of your users to merge with the different universe, right? You're able to like bring in a part of your audiences, and then you can also see that experiences or those audience insights in an analytics platforms is so critical, right? You are not able to be just gain insights or like even leverage these predictive insights if you don't have a full picture. So that's what I feel that it's a critical role for me to understand its nuances and also be able to navigate the differences between the individual platforms and how can we leverage them against each of the business cases.
Yeah, and that leads me very seamlessly into my next question, which is, how do you find the kind of marketing internal teams and the technology internal teams? Are they collaborating quite well now? Is it kind of you've gotten to this streamlined space that you just mentioned, or is there still kind of work to do to make sure that you're staying competitively ahead of the curve?
Yeah, I think it's a time to cut down the silos between different teams. I do see that a lot, even in my previous roles, or like what I see in the industry overall, like talking with my friends overall and other companies. Um, each sector has their own way of doing things, and I feel like getting ahead of the curve is also important, but it's also important to be like staying collaborative and understanding what the needs of the business are and how your like what is your objective? Is your objective just from the incrementality standpoint, just increasing your sales, or are you also wanting to increase your brand awareness, or are you just wanting to increase your target audiences, or are you just wanting to make your creatives look more creative so that your ads are like ranking in the top of the search bar, right? So your objectives can really define how you can cut down the silos, like how you can come down together and can work in a collaborative fashion, and then like bring your objectives to one page is not so easy, and it's a complex process. I would understand that, and I also hear that all the time. But it's also important to see how can we unify some of the objectives so that and then understand like what is that one goal that your company aims like for Sephora if it's a beauty awareness like the beauty brands that are upcoming, then I would understand that the brand awareness is so critical for the upcoming brands, right? Some of the brands who are already established, people are going to buy them and they're going to be repeat customers. But for someone who is like just newly launched, then they would need a lot of awareness, like a lot of establishment. So that becomes a major goal for the teams. So I think it's the opportunity to cut down the silos, but it's also the opportunity to see what the business goals are, and it can always kind of route in that direction.
Yeah, so it's a really interesting point. And it's kind of great to hear that. I think you're kind of in that perfect prime position to be able to kind of marry that objective from businesses and connecting the right people with the right information to get those decisions moving, which is really exciting. And then my kind of final question would be, what are the emerging trends that you're seeing in the Martech space that you think will have the most significant impact on marketing and technology practices over the next 5 years?
I mean, that's a very broad question.
It
I
is.
would Since you never know like which sector. Martech is not just marketing technology. It could be marketing automation, or it could be just like big data analytics, or it could be anything that you can imagine that falls under marketing technology. But I can see
Yeah.
there's a pattern here that companies follows. Like if you're and I see that your question, um, I would definitely see there's a lot of advancement in how companies leverage these marketing platforms. And there's also this huge gap in understanding the technological differences of these platforms. So from my perspective, I definitely see that martech space is growing so much, and people are now able to like have that as a full advantage to their career, that they're able to perform as a marketing technology manager in full capacity. That's amazing because that's growing so far. Like that's growing, and that's gonna grow, keep growing. So um, from my stand, again, it's going to be the same, that it depends on what avenues your the company wants to go. It's like they're like, now the AI is advancing so much that you're kind of wanting to utilize and leverage AI to like any, at any point, like companies are wanting to have this AI leveraged for utilizing your assets or like your creatives, or even to the point that you're kind of launching your marketing campaigns, just utilizing and creating like RFPs and things like that for like, and utilizing AI heavily, right? There are like so many different companies that are now invested in how can they provide comparisons of different platforms just by using AI, right? There's different, and I've been working, like I have talked to companies that are doing this advances in putting together all the information in a place where you can just ask like, okay, give me an example of marketing automation platforms, and like this is my objective, and kind of give me a list of all the softwares and all the platforms. It will give you everything in that one check, like in that one quick, right? So it's advancing so much that you need to be aware of your goals and objectives, and be precise that you can't have everything in one plate. You need to be able to understand some of the technological differences and how these platforms work and how they integrate. Yeah, I see that there's a lot of integrations, capabilities in different platforms. Like I can see like Snowflake or like Optimum, or like there's so many other like Segment or High Touch, or like there's so many other like marketing automation platforms, Salesforce, marketing, Marketo or HubSpot. They give you like endless amount of capabilities on how to like manage, leverage your email marketing campaigns, and how to like manage your accounts and all that. But you also need to understand that if there's a way to integrate these platforms seamlessly with your other existing set of martech, right? I mean the marketing platforms that you have. So it boils down to that, and then understanding what are the emerging platforms, like what are the pricing strategies, or what are the long-term goals for you. Are you aiming to keep your customers lifetime value as a um, goal for you? Like is loyalty big for you, or is like just brand sales big for you? Like what is the main KPI that keeps your business up to date, or that keeps your business going? Yeah, so that all boils down to that. But I definitely see a huge spike in the martech sector, and there's a lot of technological advancements that are happening today.
Yeah.
But yeah,
No, I completely agree. I think we're running out of time, but just to kind of summarize, I think you've had some really clear, really useful points. I think it was understanding your business objectives, understanding what data you need, and removing internal silos powered by Martech to make sure that you're getting that information out there, and then being clever about the technologies that you're using. I think they were kind of the key themes that I picked up from you today. And correct me if I'm wrong or missed anything.
you
But
got it right.
yeah, there we go. Amazing, Khushbu. Thank you so much for your time. It's been so interesting getting to speak to you and hear about your expertise. And thanks for joining us.
Thanks for your time too. Thanks, Kate. It was wonderful talking to you.